Summa petenda. This was my school motto. It was on the wall in the school on the blazers we wore every day. However, when I was at school, I never really questioned what it meant. My name is Liam and I went to Dalziel High School from 2017 to 2023. It is a school in Motherwell, Scotland. Now that I've left school and I'm studying film, I wanted to explore summa petenda, which means aim for the highest, by understanding the history of the school more and speaking to my friend who also went to DL. I went to the Heritage Centre in Motherwell and looked through old photos. The buildings changed, the world has changed, teaching styles also changed, and what does this mean to young women of DL? Now we have graduated and are able to look back and reflect on our time at the school. I want to learn and understand the history DL High School. The school was opened in 1898 by the first rector and his name was, fun fact, David Gregg. Over the years, the building of the high school has changed compared now to when the school first opened. For example, the school building outside has gone through changes and the teachers back then were not as accepting as they are now. But over the years, everything does change, as well as the teaching styles of the different teachers. During the 1950s, the school was able to get a huge performance boost by the rector at the time, named James K. Scobie, who was the rector from 1957 to 1974, which he ran for 17 years and was able to greatly increase the school's performance and education, which made Dalziel High School even more of a success. During James K. Scobie's run as the school's rector, he managed to accumulate rewards for the school for the performance of the education system that James placed for the school. And the rewards that the school got were the Charter Mark reward, and Dalziel High School was the first school in Scotland to receive this amazing reward. As I do the history of DL, I start to reflect during my years of being at the school, all 6 years. At the start of those years, I was very shy, and when COVID came by, the education took a big turn, and we all had to learn from home. So in the middle of those years of high school, we were not good for mental health. For the last 2 years of high school, it was a mixed bag. Had some good moments and had some bad ones. But during those years, I had a friend to talk to sometimes, and his name was David Porter. I decided to get his opinion on the motto summa petenda and his experience of the school.
Being taken seriously, being treated like an adult, actually able to have fun, you actually felt like a grown-up when you got into like 5th or 6th year, because it prepares you for college. And I guess that would also be one of my scariest memories, is realising, oh, I'm going into college next year. I'm not ready. But yeah, definitely some fun memories, and obviously some bad memories of getting yelled at for misbehaving or something. Oh, it was absolutely terrifying. Me personally, a lot of other people, they had studied, they'd gotten good grades, they had an idea of what they wanted to do, they had places they were planning to go to. I was a last minute, it was a last minute thing for me. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Well, nothing's going to change. I'm always going to be terrified. I'm a very anxious person in general. Change, I don't like change, it's scary. I would prefer no change, but it's like there's always going to be changes. I always will and I always have embraced changes, but it's just getting through them will be easier because I've already experienced many changes throughout my life. I've had my good changes, I've had my bad changes, as we all have, and eventually I'll end up getting somewhat used to them and accept them like they're completely normal. Obviously, if I could remove all the bad changes, I would love to do that. But at the same time, those bad changes made me learn a lot. They made me, I guess, adapt to certain situations. If I had everything spoon-fed to me, I would never learn what it feels like to go through those bad changes, which make me grow as a person. Yes, I'm glad. At the time, no, but over time, they made me realise stuff, so yes, I'm glad. So, summa petenda means aim for the highest, which, in general, would mean you want to try your best, do your best. As the name suggests, aim for the highest. You want to, try the hardest you can, do your homework, pass your tests, your exams, so you can get into college, university, and get a good job in the end. Summa petenda, for me, if I'm being honest, I never really cared much for the motto. That's because for me in general, I was a lazy person. I didn't put as much effort as I should have. I do regret that, and I wish I'd put more effort because I could have gotten into a better college or potentially gotten a better chance of going into a high-paying job. But when I got told what summa petenda meant, I didn't pay much attention for it, didn't care about the motto, but when I think back on it, I should have actually paid attention to the motto and actually did my best, because I could have missed out on a lot of opportunities. I would say generally yes, maybe not the best that I possibly can do, but I will definitely aim up there, to say the least. I'm not going to be the best, I'm just going to be realistic. I won't be the best, I'll never be the best, but I can at least put in the effort to try and do the best that I can do. I'll aim for the highest that is within my own level. If I do that, then people will take notice, and for the situation I'm in, I could get a better job. My effort can be seen and heard, and I could get better opportunities. Though I've missed a lot of those opportunities from high school, from not doing the best I can do, I can at least take that into my future workplace, or if I end up going back to college or university, then going for the highest there to try and make up for it.
David is right. Not the history of where the motto that makes the building. It is the people who makes DL High School what it is today. Change can be a very scary thing that approaches, and as I look back, I'm glad those changes happened, because I wouldn't be here reflecting on the changes that happened, being my best self. But what the motto means to me is being able to be my best self as much as possible. So that's what the motto aim for the highest means to me. Summa petenda, aim for the highest, everyone.